All right, good morning, traders. Today is June 4th, 2024. Thank you for being here. My SPY pivot this morning is 526. Above it, I'm a bull. Below it, I'm a bear. SPY and Diamond Dow are still in downtrends. Let me make sure about that. We'll go take a look at some charts. Are still in downtrends, made higher highs and higher lows. SPY closed over a bullish cross and over the 17 EMAs, while Diamond Dow closed inside a bearish trap below the 17 EMA. SPY ends the day with a 2-hour uptrend and a 10-minute uptrend. QQQ and FNGU still in uptrends, made higher highs and higher lows. Both closed the day inside bearish traps over the 17 EMAs. IWM restarts its uptrend, making a higher high and a higher low, but closing below the bearish trap below the 17 EMA. Gold, still in an uptrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing below under a bearish trap. I'm not so sure gold. No, gold's still in a downtrend, made a inside day closing over a bearish trap but below the 17 EMA. Silver still in an uptrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing under a bearish trap but over the rising 17 EMA. USO restarts a downtrend, made a lower high and a lower low, closing below the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. UNG still in the uptrend, made a higher high and a higher low, closing over a bullish cross over the 17 EMA. US dollar index still in a downtrend, made a pullback to close around an area around 104.06 area. So all right, let's go take a look at some charts, see what all that means. All right, so here's Diamond Dow. And Diamond Dow made a low right here, and we were in a downtrend. Until we break this high, we will be in a downtrend. So we got to break this high right here, and the high of that candle is 530.51. All right, but today's price action, let me move this out of the way. Yesterday's price action was a higher low and a higher high, and we closed over a bullish cross right there. That's the 3 crossing up through the 8 EMA. Didn't quite make it all the way through. Closed over a bullish cross and over the 17 EMA. So still in a downtrend, but closing up over the 17 EMA. Okay, got to break this high right there. Still consolidating over to the right. And a nice bull flag pattern right now. All right, let's take a look at, what was the other one? I think it was Diamond Dow. All right, Diamond Dow. Yeah, Diamond Dow still in a downtrend because we got to break this high up here. All right, until we break that high up there, we're still in a downtrend. Yesterday's candle, higher low, higher high, closing again inside the bearish trap, but under the 17 EMA. So there's Diamond Dow, still in a downtrend. SPY, still in a downtrend. QQQ. QQQ making a higher low and a higher high, closing over a bearish trap, and no, closing inside a bearish trap, and over the 17 EMA. FNGU. FNGU closing inside a bearish trap as well. Made a higher high and a higher low. I think they all made higher highs and higher lows today, yesterday. Closing inside a bearish trap, but over the 17 EMA. So there's FNGU. All right, so we just did we just did Diamond Dow, we did FNGU, and we did QQQ. So QQQ uptrend, FNGU uptrend, SPY downtrend, Diamond Dow downtrend. All right, IWM. All right, this is our small cap and mid caps. All right, yesterday's price action, we made a higher high up here. So IWM restarts its uptrend, but they closed. All right, we got up here, we made the higher high, but we closed underneath the bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. All right, and you can see in the pre-market we're already kind of headed down. All right, let's take a look at our technicals. T2122. We went all the way up to open up inside the overbought zone, and the bears threw us out of the overbought zone. They threw us out of the buy zone. They threw us out of the buyer's chop zone, and we wound up making a lower low down here in the seller's chop zone as we wound up re-challenging the midpoint right through here, the 50-yard line. At the end of the day. So there's T2122. T2123. All right, so we gapped up in the morning, kind of sold off in the afternoon, and the bulls came in and rally it late in the day. All right, didn't quite have enough mustard to get it up where we opened up, but wound up just kind of still bear flagging in here on a bigger picture. On the 200 SMA up here, you can see we still haven't broke that rubber band candle, still kind of just consolidating over to the right, okay? Eventually, I'd like to see us get back up and sling back up to the 200, if not up to it, preferably over it right now. But right now, we're still just hanging out in the rubber band energy right down here, okay? Hoping for that sling back up. And that's T2123. T2123 3 bar, we added 3 more red candles to the T2123 with the 17 EMA here. Still just hovering over this rising 200 SMA. This is the 3 bar chart. It's a little bit more reliable than 15. As you can see, you go back to the 15 and you get a lot of whipsaw action where you come out here to a 3 bar chart and things kind of smooth out right there if you look at that 17 EMA. So you can see you're having a pullback. That's a nice bull flag. Don't like that gap in there, but that's what we got. But we got a nice bull flag, just waiting for price action to maybe the 200 will come along and push price back up. We'll see what happens. There's T2123 on FNGU. Yesterday's price action, again, just like IWM, kind of gapped up, sold off from the gap up, making a higher low. All right. Notice on T2123, we made a higher low as well. That's a good sign. So pressure is going to be on the bulls to make that higher high. So we'll see if they can get that done. Look like they're dealing with some trouble right now. But here's FNGU making the higher low. Hopefully they can get back up over this hooking or this fading 200 SMA. So there's FNGU. So those are our technicals right there. Let's head back and take a look at USO. That'd be crude oil. Now here's crude oil. We were in a flaky uptrend. Because we made a higher low here and a higher high. See how we just barely beat that low right there and just barely beat that high there. So there's the flaky uptrend that we were in. And then yesterday's candle, as you can see, broke the low right here. So that puts it back in a downtrend. So it restarts the downtrend. And we made on the daily candle, we make a lower high and a lower low, closing below the bearish trap underneath the 17 EMA. So USO still pulling back. Let's take a look at UNG. UNG still in an uptrend, all right, because we broke this high, this high, this high, and this high right here. Yesterday's price action, so it's still in an uptrend. Yesterday's price action got a higher low and a higher high, closing over the bearish trap or the bullish cross right here and over the 17 EMA. So UNG finally bullish after a long waited time of being bearish here since probably the beginning of the year. See that? Halfway through the beginning of the year, we just never got bullish after that point right there. All right, so let's go take a look at precious metals. So here's SLV. SLV right now. We're still in an uptrend, but this candle right here says we're not, okay? Because we made a lower high and a lower low. But we'll see what today's candle prints out, because all of this is just pre-market activity. All right, because we could wind up just popping up. So we'll see what happens. But SLV still in an uptrend until we see today's candle print. Price action for today: lower high, lower low, closing below the bearish trap but above the 17 EMA. So that's SLV. GLD, different story here. Making a lower high and a lower low, still in a downtrend till we take out that high up there at 218.74. Yesterday's price action is an inside day. That's a lower high and a higher low. Closing over the bearish trap, but underneath the 17 EMA right there. Okay, so there was precious metals. We just did the energy. We did USO and UNG. So now let's take a look at a few sectors. First sector, SMH. SMH still in an uptrend, okay? So we got a higher low, higher high, closing over bullish trap over the 17 EMA. So that's still bullish. Okay, XLK. All right, XLK still XLK still in a downtrend. Made a lower high and a lower low right here. No, just a lower high. And XLK still in an uptrend. My bad. Okay, XLK still in an uptrend. This is the first low. All right, but it has made a lower high. XLK, yesterday's price action, higher low, higher high, but closing underneath the bearish trap, underneath the rising, kind of a flat 17 EMA right there. So semiconductors in an uptrend, technology in an uptrend. Let's take a look at XLF. All right, so XLF making a lower low right here. So that's in a downtrend till we take out this high. And we did. So XLF resumes its uptrend by taking out the high right here. All right, so XLF in an uptrend, SMH in an uptrend. Yesterday's price action for XLF looks like a higher low and I got to tell you, that looks like, well, let's just read the numbers. 41.68, 41.67. So that's an inside day for XLF with a higher low and a lower high, just by pennies, of course. Closing inside the bearish trap under the 17 EMA. So that's XLF, still in an uptrend. So we got semiconductors and financials are still in an uptrend. Technology, still in an uptrend. All right, so now let's take a look at IYT. Prepare to be disappointed. IYT still in a downtrend, making lower highs and lower lows. Yesterday's price action was, let's see what we got here. I think this is really the price action between these two numbers here. Okay, so yesterday's price action was an outside day with a higher high and a lower low. But closing, let me see where they closed. They closed over a bullish cross and over the 17 EMA. So that's IYT. All right, still in a downtrend, but all in all, not a bad day. That's a pretty nice day for IYT. So there's the transport. So transport's still in a downtrend, but financials still in an uptrend, technology still in an uptrend, semiconductors still in an uptrend. All right, let's go take a look at our economic data, and we'll start off with, let's start off with the economic calendar for today. We've got motor vehicle sales coming out sometime this morning, factory orders coming out at 10, JOLTS coming out at 10, And that's about it. So really a light day. Nothing really out there that's going to squash the market. For tomorrow, we got ADP employment report, 8:15. PMI composite final, 9:45. ISM services index, 10 o'clock. And 10:30, most every Friday, we got a petroleum report. Okay, so that's it for today and tomorrow. For Max Payne for today is 526. All right, so that shouldn't be too hard. We're hanging out there anyways. That's pretty much where my pivot is this morning, 526. Put to call ratio, we got 1 1/3 puts for every call. Could be a put squeeze. We'll see what happens, all right? And let's take a look at NASDAQ earnings. And we're on Tuesday, so let's go to Tuesday. CrowdStrike's going to report this evening, only 75 billion, all right? So not really a big market mover, but a familiar name that we want to kind of keep an eye on because that does involve, I think that's technology right there. So that's $75 billion right there. Again, some names that we're all familiar with, but nothing here that's going to move the market. Okay, Hewlett Packard, familiar name. Bath and Body Works, familiar name. Core and Main, another familiar name. I'm getting tongue-tied here. Okay, so but anyways, you see right there, that's going to happen tonight after the close. So that'll be on at 4 o'clock. Wednesday, we got Lululemon, again, a familiar name. Dollar Tree, remember, they're the ones that just closed some stores. So we'd like to see some good news come out of them, but be prepared to be disappointed. All right, again, nothing that's going to move the market, but just some familiar names. Now, Lululemon reports after the close tomorrow. Dollar Tree is going to report before the market opens tomorrow. Not much economic data coming in tomorrow either. All right, let's take a look at Thursday. Excuse me, Autodesk, $42 billion if they can find their P&L. Again, some familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the market. Friday, again, some familiar names, but nothing that's going to move the market. Not till Monday, Oracle, and we're relying on them to find their P&L. Does anything really big that's market moving come in? So there's our week for NASDAQ earnings. So you can see we got a light week in the economic data here, and we have a really light week in the NASDAQ earnings. So if the market wants to blast this SPY up to 550, they have clear skies other than the U.S. dollar index, okay? And the nice thing is the U.S. dollar index is in a downtrend right here. And you can see here's the downtrend in the DXY. That's a lower high and a lower low. Okay, we made another lower high right here. And we made another lower low yesterday. Okay, so still in a downtrend on DXY. Get a little bounce today. We are at the 200 SMA. All right, we came back, we popped up through it and found a little home here on the 200 SMA right here earlier. You can see we came down and popped up off of it. So after pulling back to the 200 SMA, we wound up making higher highs up there. This is the first time back here. Okay, now you can see after making the higher high, we pull back and test it again. And we get another pop, but not making a higher high. So what we have here is a kind of a head and shoulders product. All right. The question is, can we get through that 200 SMA to get that weaker dollar? Weaker dollar benefits the markets because we get to sell our goods and services over to foreign countries for a lower conversion rate. In other words, they become our products and services become more affordable to them. All right, so there's DXY dollar index in a downtrend, but bouncing a little bit today. So we'll see what happens. So I'm gonna take questions in the room if there's any questions. If not, I'm going to go ahead and render my video, and we'll get started at 9:15 here in the markets. Let's just take a look at SPY right now. Come up with a little game plan. All right. We'll see what happens before the market starts. Okay, so let's look at the current state of SPY. Okay, on the 10-minute. So yesterday we made a higher low. Okay, and we rallied into the end of the day. All right, to try to make that higher high. Didn't quite cut the mustard there. Couldn't get it done. All right, overnight we bull flagged, and then we kind of melted off underneath this right here. This is the all-time high anchored VWAP, this pink line right there. So like to see price up over that pink line. All right, whenever price is up over that, it's my opinion that money is being pumped into the market. All right, so that's what we want to see is price action up over that all-time high anchored VWAP, indicating to us that money's being pumped into the market. If we can't get that, we still like to see higher lows. All right, so we couldn't get that overnight because they melted off, but we did get another higher low. So that's a good sign. With this higher low, we could see a higher high. We'll see what happens, but right now just kind of consolidating here over yesterday's pivot. All right, so what do we have? We have a 10-minute uptrend right here on the 2-hour chart. All right, we have a 2-hour uptrend still, not very strong, but a little bit flaky 2-hour uptrend. All right, and we have in the pre-market a 10-minute uptrend. So I will be looking for, all right, green erases red entries. All right, up over this 526 number right there. Okay, so up over 526, I'm looking for green erases red entries for the bullish side. I'll be looking for calls, all right, that expire on Friday, all right, that are going to be in the money. So probably 50% of that would be if we were up at 526. That would be probably the 523 or the 524 bullish calls, all right? So that's what I would be looking for, but I want to see green erase red. Right now we haven't got a lot of chop on the 10-minute chart. Let's just take a peek at the 15. A little more green showing up here, but that's a whole lot of red. See how all that red shows up? And it's there on the 10, and it's there on the 15, and not quite visible on the 3, but you can see it clearly on the 10 and the 15 right there. So red being the more defined color in the pre-market, just saying traders be careful, all right? Like to see price action get back up over that all-time high anchored VWAP located at 526.15. All right, looking for green erases red entries, preferably up over 526, but I'm still going to take green erases red entry, even if it's just under 526, because they made a higher low. There'll be some pressure on the bulls to produce that higher high up here. So we'll see what happens this morning, all right? So there's SPY. That's the game plan this morning. All right, I'll see you guys. I want to thank everybody here in the room. Appreciate that. And I want to thank everybody out there in digital land. All right, I appreciate you subscribing, giving me the thumbs up, saying nice comments. All of that is wonderful. I appreciate all of that. Thank you for helping me. All right, so I'll see you guys in about 45 minutes here.